Hey drone technology fans, Bill here at the DJI Mavic Air. It's finally here. Let's give you some first impressions and my thoughts. Coming right up. Hey drone technology fans, Bill here. 10 a.m. today, DJI introduced the DJI Mavic Air. And without further ado, I'm going to roll some clips here. And as I'm rolling them, I'm going to give you some of what I think my pluses are, a couple of neutrals, and what I would have liked to have had on the Mavic Air. So without further ado, let's get into this. I think my first thing and my favorite thing about that is the flight autonomy system. The flight autonomy system is not only going to be able to detect an object, it's going to be able to maneuver around the object. And if you've heard this before, well, it's going to be in Autel's Evo. So I think that's incredibly cool technology. They demonstrated it today. The video that I just ran demonstrated it as well. So that's a very cool feature. That's something I really like. Of course, you know, the big thing about the Mavic Air, it's foldable. It's just like the DJI Mavic Pro, being able to fold the arms up. You can do the same here. It has the form factor in it is fantastic. 21 minutes of flight time. Now that is definitely a plus compared to the Spark, which was 15 minutes, and the Mavic Pro, which was about 27 minutes. So that's kind of fallen right in between, which is something that I would have figured on that. You're able to get it up to 42 miles an hour in sport mode. That's pretty fast. That's faster than the Mavic Pro. So that's a huge plus on that. One of the other my favorite things is there's 8 gigabytes of internal storage. And as the presenter went over today, he said, how many times do you forget it? You're out in the field, you're doing a shoot, and you forget your SD card. You leave it at home. Well, there's 8 gigabytes of internal storage, so that you can save your moments that way. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Of course, it does shoot at 4K, 30 frames per second, and I know I heard a lot of people today saying wishing it was 60 frames per second. You know, it's just, you know, it's fantastic. There's a 4K camera on it. The Spark does not have a 4K camera, so this is significant. I think this is incredible. Now it also does the 32 megabit pixel spherical panorama. I know that's a lot to come out right there, but you probably saw in the demo, and you've probably seen it in the videos. It shows what that is. That's fantastic. That's an incredible option to have. Now it can fly in up to winds which are 20 miles an hour or more. And to me, that was for the Spark, that was one of the things that's a real, I don't know if I want to use the word negative, but you know, if it was a windy day, and I live in Florida and I live near the coast, so there's the wind down here does pick up, and it does get greater than 20 miles an hour. And even in 10 or 15 mile an hour winds, the Spark did have a hard time. But to hear that the Mavic Air can handle up to 20 mile an hour winds, that is absolutely incredible to me. So I'm going to get to my neutrals now. The first neutral is enhanced Wi-Fi up to 2.45 miles. To me, one of the pain points of the Spark was Wi-Fi. I don't know about you, but it just never seemed to catch on with me. So, you know, that was just one of those things at night. But the Wi-Fi, as far as flying it, you know, the distance is very limiting. 2.45 miles. I mean, that seems like a lot, but when you compare it to, say, the Mavic Pro, or you get up to the Phantom, that really isn't a lot of distance there. So I kind of wish that maybe they would have looked at, and this goes into my would have liked, OcuSync. OcuSync on the Mavic Pro is fantastic. You're able to get incredible distance with that. So that's one of the neutrals for me. The other neutral is they're calling it now Smart Capture, but it's mostly the hand gestures. Now, they did demonstrate it today, and for me, that was, I'm going to say, probably a pain point of the Spark for me, was no matter how much I watched tutorial videos, and I watched a lot of tutorial videos, you know, it seemed like the Spark had its own mind when I was doing hand gestures, and you know, I finally learned how to do them correctly, and it was maybe 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 times they would work, and you had to do them very slowly. Well, I did see some of the promo videos, and I did see the video today, and it did look like it worked pretty good. So again, I'm leaving that as a neutral, and I'm kind of hoping that that does work. DJI's added a lot of new modes onto it. From what I understand, active track can track up more than one person or more than one object, which is fantastic. I think that's very cool. I'd like to be able to see how that works. Now, a couple of other things that I would have liked to have seen. I love the remote in the Mavic Pro. I love the display on the remote in the Mavic Pro. It has telemetry on there. It has everything that you see on your DJI Go 4 app as far as data, flight data is concerned. And to me, there's no such thing as too much redundancy. To have that, you know, I bought a Mav mount to mount my tablet on there, and I have redundancy right in front of me. I have it up here with the controller, and I have it down here with my tablet on the Go app. So having that redundancy is something that I think is absolutely critical. And the last thing I would have liked is, and this is just my personal opinion, I really thought this was going to price out at $699 and $899 for the Fly More combo. Well, it's $799 and $999 for the Fly More combo. So, you know, it's about $100 difference, and you know, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but for that $999, you do get quite a bit. Now, the new charger for the Mavic Air can charge up to 4 batteries simultaneously. That's excellent technology. That's very cool. The portability of this is going to be incredible. It's going to allow people who, you know, wanted something better than the Spark, but, you know, thought the Mavic was too big, that the Mavic Air would fit in there. And as was demonstrated in the presentation today, the presenter had them in his pockets, and you had no idea he had them in his pockets. So the technology in here is fantastic. DJI always, to me, they always hit a home run. They hit another home run here. So if you like the content from today's video, please make sure to hit the like button, and also tell others about our channel. Also, be sure to check out my Facebook page where I post updates, and I did post updates out there today. And also my blog where I do mini reviews, and I did do an update out there today. And also every video we do goes out there as well. So, because I know I have a series of followers on my blog that they get notified that way to do that. Thanks a lot for watching, and happy flying.